announcements were stuff that was readily available. All of these hot topics, like I said, these were the things, these were the beats that the other reporters were working on. Those I did one by one, and I just added one each day that I completed it, so that eventually I had covered all these topics. I went the extra mile because for me, I'm always trying to find, more about my personal history. I organize a lot of events here in the area, or I have in the past. And I always want to add that human element so that it's not just business. So I added this section called Fans, Foodies, and Cool Technology that was not related specifically to the software I want everybody to read about. We had a food truck that was powered by Watson. You probably haven't heard about it.
That's crazy.
But literally,
Say that again? A food truck powered by the Watson computing?
Yes. So what it is they call it.
It predicts what you want to eat.
Go click on this because it's the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. They call it cognitive cooking. It's totally a stunt, like Jeopardy was with the corporate team. I was not involved, but they rolled this food truck onto site, and you would vote via Twitter for ingredients that you like. So you would say, I like poutine, or I like barbecue sauce. And then Watson would look in its database and say, it literally was building recipes on the fly, and then real people that were chefs, the culinary staff of the truck would go create that recipe for you, and then they would serve it the next day for everybody to try. So it was very cool. They did this at this event. They did it at South by Southwest in Austin in March, right after this event, and then it was way too expensive, frankly. They were giving away free food for like 5 days in Austin, and they had to drive the truck from Las Vegas to Austin, which I heard was a nightmare too. So I haven't seen the food truck since then, but it was a cool experiment with Watson. And what they're trying to prove with Watson, right, is Watson's not really it's not a supercomputer in the traditional sense. It is it's a new interface. It's a new way of humans interacting with computers.
It's the thing that won the Jeopardy match.
Yes. So the reason it was a breakthrough is that it was able to understand human language. The core of it is that it understands human language at the level that it can answer a Jeopardy question. So what they're doing with Watson is things like this, where it takes human language from a tweet and says, I love pudding. And then it said, okay, I know you love pudding. I'm going to go combine that with barbecue sauce and make it taste awesome. I don't know.
Was the food edible?
It was awesome. No, it was. I would go to this story, and you'll see pictures of how it was the best food I'd ever had at a conference, honestly. The latest conference that I was at in June, they didn't have the food truck, but Watson had created cocktail recipes. It was wild. My point here is that I'm trying to add the fun stuff here. We had a concert. I did a podcast interview with a partner of mine who we did a podcast interview, a 15-minute sit-down with Vince Gilligan, who he created the Breaking Bad TV series. And so stuff like that people really like because it's relatable. He talked about technology. He was talking about how Breaking Bad blew up on Netflix, and he never knew it never would have been popular without Netflix, right? It wasn't just the show is awesome, but Netflix, the cloud technology behind Netflix is what made it big. So anyway, that kind of interview really is great because it gives color to, ultimately we're talking about technology and how it's changing industries and our daily interaction. We also had a Twitter Q&A. So that's another thing that we do at events where now we had Vince Gilligan, and this is the actress that played one of the characters. I don't know, I didn't watch the show, but she was the actress that played one of the wife of the guy on Breaking Bad. Right. So we did a Twitter Q&A where people sent in questions. So I collected that into a Storify, and it became like a FAQ that you could refer to later. So you can create a forum with a Storify based on the Twitter content. And it's very specific, right? It's just question, answer, like a chat session.
So you create a forum on Storify that automatically then populated?
It's not automatic
Okay.
unless you choose. I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll show you how it works. It can be automatic or manual. I prefer manual because ultimately you're building a story that you want specific things included. So all of these have been manually created by me instead of automated. And especially at an event like this, for us anyway, we had 7,000 tweets on the first day. So we had to pick and obviously pick and choose what we wanted to include.
How did you actually go through 7,000?
Well, we didn't. I mean, the truth of the matter is, and I'll show you how I did it, we just had to do like fuzzy searches for things I thought would be interesting.
Okay.
So I would take like the product keywords. A lot of our marketing now, we will brand a product and use a hashtag for that product so that in all of our marketing, whenever we're talking about it or somebody in the public space is talking about it, we can find it easily. So we do the same thing around conferences. So I would use those keywords to pull out the most interesting stuff.
Smart.
So you could do a similar search, for Beth Cantor, and maybe she was talking about, infographics. You could easily do a search like that. So let me show you one example of a story. Two examples, I guess. One, here's an example of the video, just the video sort of list from June. So it's literally a collection of videos with quotes above them. So what I've been doing is I'll take that YouTube video that the team produces or shoot. I'm not doing that work like some other video crew is doing it. And then I get the YouTube video, like, you're going to have this video from today. I stick it in here, and then I'll write what it's about. Because much like a blog post, you want to for readability's sake, you want to say, why should I watch this? It also improves your SEO. Everything around a website, a blog post, anything, these keywords matter.
I'm sorry, SEO?
Search engine optimization. So, like I said, I'm not advertising. I'm not telling people to go find me on Storify, like I said. But if they search for Internet of Things, I want them to find my video. So the more that I write about it here, the more it will rank higher in Google.
How did you find the video and then tell Storify to bring it in?
I'll show you. I did a
That's the
search.
editor, you'll get that.
Yeah, there's an editor that literally you drag and drop. It's very easy. I'll show you this live in a second. I want to show examples of the finished product, and then I'll show you exactly how to build it. You can do one in a matter of minutes.
Do you know if they're going to make it where you can do a story using your iPad? Because I just clicked on my iPad that says you can't do a story.
I would love that. I would love that, but I don't know. They haven't done it yet, so don't know if they're investing in that. Let me show you another one. So I did this one that is let me find it.
Oh, so this thing works on an Android pad, but doesn't work on iPad.
Right.
Oh, I finally got something on the Android pad that works. Okay.
It's all about the content.
Mm-hmm.
So Internet of Things is the subject matter that I was covering as the embedded blogger journalist guy at this conference. So this is my collection of all the stuff that I was directly involved with. So I organized it in a way that I created sections. So during the day of our conference, much like what you had in your conference, you have a keynote speaker in the morning maybe. Then you have breakout sessions maybe, or maybe you have a networking luncheon. Maybe you have lightning talks. I mean, all those things that go into a day at a conference. I created those sections here and then collected the content that I wanted to share under these titles. So they became like sections. And the way that, the reason I do that is, again, make it readable, because these things can become very long. You can create it as a sequential story so that it's literally like the minutes of the day. All the tweets are in order.